How we doing? I thought I'd start off the video today with the intro at the beginning rather than the normal clip I do. Because something's happened to the background, to the way I'm sitting. You might notice a bit of a difference in the camera angle, I don't know yet. Yeah, I've redecorated my entire room since we last spoke. Since I last made a video, this entire room's been redecorated. I know, insane. Just like that, room's done. It took 3 days, I think nearly 4. I only just finished it off, like today, putting everything back. But yeah, as you can see, the rooms are a bit brighter. This massive red wall's gone, and the setup has been shifted just a tiny bit more this way. So you can actually kind of see everything a bit more wider, and you also can't see this side of the wall. So yeah, I hope you like the new camera angle. You can also see the 3 posters back there. I don't know if you can actually read them, but you can see them. I don't know how the lighting for this video is going to look. I don't know if it's going to be focused correctly. So if there is anything wrong with the camera right now, I am so sorry. I can't really do much about it. It's just kind of the way setups are, I guess. Anyway guys, today we're going to have a chat about hard routine, something I've promised on Instagram to be making for a long time, so I thought I would fulfill that promise. So guys, if you are looking forward to this video, make sure you're smashing that like button. If not, please go and use the video card up above if you're not interested in hard routines, and that will lead you to a new video to learn a bit more about me. But apart from that, let's jump into a video about hard routines. Now, hard routines. Does anyone even know what they are anymore? Because I don't think I hear anyone else speak about them apart from me. You know, I love hard routines. I think they're great. But I've never heard anyone else say to me that they're sticking to a hard routine. So please let me know in the comments whether you actually know what a hard routine is, because I don't think anyone does. Now, hard routines are generally used in the military or in businesses where employees or clients need to be disciplined, where people need to be made to do something that's going to take a lot of time and a lot of energy and is going to require a lot of dedication. So, for example, in the military, when you go in there, you are under a hard routine. At no point are you lazing around doing nothing. You are always on the go 24/7. If you're not sitting in your dorm doing something, or you're not out exercising, you're not out doing target practice, you're probably doing runs around the field. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to suggest to you that, you don't sit on your arse ever. Don't worry, we're not going to that point. But there are benefits to hard routine. Even I follow them. Hard routines are not just useful for discipline purposes, which businesses use them for. They are also useful to help build rhythms in life, to build routines, to build some form of stability in our everyday lives. Because a lot of the time, we all sit around doing things and don't generally know what the heck we're meant to be doing. And that can lead to businesses being disorganised, for your work life to just be a piece of poo on the side of your shoe, or just general life to be so chaotic to the point where it's not manageable. And a hard routine can help you solve all them problems and make your life a bit more organised and detailed. So yeah, because of that, I am a person who uses hard routines. Hard routines are part of my life, and they were very much part of my life when I had what I call a YouTube addiction, where I used to sit there for hours a day watching YouTube and not really do anything else. I used hard routines to get myself out of that. So let's go through an example of a hard routine. Now, a hard routine means you never have nothing to do ever. You always have something you could be doing. And most of the time, all them things that you could be doing are either written a list or writ somewhere, doing something with it. There's not a time in your life where, you just sit there and you've got nothing to do, because that's when you procrastinate. Now, hard routines are not normally kept up for long periods of time. They're normally quite short. So at the moment, I am following a hard routine to try and build in a habit. That's what the word is. Sorry, the word completely skipped my brain. So trying to build in a habit. So I'm doing a hard routine to do that. So yeah, you don't keep a hard routine for long periods of time. That's just not healthy. But when you are in a hard routine, your life is very rhythmic. It is consistent. You go from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. It's like batting a ball. You know, you do not stop. The entire point of this is to get your mind knowing that you should be doing something. Because when you're not able to go and just sit there and do something different that's unproductive, your brain kind of gets used to that and doesn't want to do that thing anymore. It's kind of changing the mechanics in your head so you don't go off and just sit there and do nothing all day. In the military, they use it to discipline you. So it basically means that you don't, you're always ready for any task that's thrown at you, because no matter what, you've always kept it a hard routine. So, how can hard routines help you, the people watching this video, and how can they help us in everyday life? Well, let's go over some tips and tactics I use to build hard routines and how they benefit me personally, and hopefully they can help you guys out in the long run. So, let's go over my hard routine quickly. So, it's pretty much my entire day, every day. So it starts off first thing in the morning, getting up, going downstairs and making sure I'm eating breakfast and having a cup of coffee. I cannot miss that. That is pretty much dedicated. The reason I do that is because I started to get into a thing, especially during this lockdown period, where I wasn't actually eating substantially. I was kind of missing meals because I knew I could. So now part of my hard routine is I get up and I make sure everything's there and I'm eating and having a cup of coffee every morning. No excuses. Then that involves going for a run. So I've recently started exercising, for some of you who don't know, and I go for a run every morning. That is part of my hard routine. No matter what's going on, I must do that. Next is kicking back here and getting all work done which is on my to-do list. So normally, most days at the end of the day, I make a to-do list for the next day. So after my run, I come down, I look at that to-do list, and everything must be done on that to-do list before I can leave. Next thing is going for a walk or getting some fresh air. I must make sure that I spend some quality time outside. And next is trying to give myself time to myself. It's hard routine to make sure that no matter what, even if my day is packed full of crap, I must make sure that I step back at some point and let myself just chill. No social media, no nothing. It's just me, myself, and I. So that's an example of, to be fair, a quite easy hard routine. Now, you're probably wondering, well, you said they don't go on for long periods of time, so why are you doing this hard routine then? The entire idea of it is to incorporate exercise into my life. Now, normally, before, lockdown and everything, I used to do no exercise whatsoever. Physical activity was non-existent. I used to spend a lot of my time here, and I didn't really used to leave my house much to do anything else apart from meet up with friends every so often. So the reason I've incorporated a hard routine is to make sure that every morning I'm going out for a run, and my mornings are now fully intense because I know exactly what I'm meant to be doing. And to be fair, it is working because I've managed to keep up a running regime. So that's my hard routine. You know why I do it? You know what it is. Let's go over some of the things that I've learned through this and tips and tactics for making sure that a hard routine works for you, and also how it could benefit you. Now, first things first is hard routines are not simple to stick to. To no extent is this easy. Keeping up a hard routine takes a lot of dedication, a lot of mindset adjusting, and sometimes it can be quite tiring as well. So you do need to be dedicated to doing it. If you're not dedicated, the chances are you're not going to keep it up. So don't think that this is for anyone. It's probably for the more work motivated, dedicated people who really want to strive to do something in life. If there's a big part of your life that needs changing, a hard routine might help you out. Right, so here's a couple of tips. It's a bit more than a couple, but here's some tips for you involving hard routines. So the first one that I have learned is having a consistent checklist. So every day, having a set of things that you need to do so you don't sit there and do nothing. One of the worst parts of a day or work life is when you've got so many things you have to do to the point where it's spread it out on a calendar but you really don't know what you have to do for that specific day. And sometimes having a little checklist, even if it's only 3 things to set out to do for that day, can help you be a bit more productive, because otherwise you'll look at that huge calendar full of all these different things and you won't get any of it done because you'll be like, oh my god, that is just too much, I can't do all that. Next thing is have a reason for your hard routine. Have a goal in mind. Why do you want to do a hard routine? Is it because you want to become a bit more healthy? Is it because you want to build a hobby? Is it because you want to be a bit more productive? Is it because you want to build a habit into your life? For example, working out every day, cutting down on social media, whatever it is, have a goal in mind. What do I want to achieve after this hard routine? Next thing is rewarding your efforts. Once you've done this hard routine, once you've done whatever you set out to do, have something that you really enjoy planned in to do as well. What you're doing is you're rewarding your brain for the hard effort it put in to go and do that task. So for example, I might film this video now, and my reward for filming this video could be I get to play a game for an hour. That is called rewarding. Some people don't need it. If you're extremely work motivated like myself, I don't need it. But for someone who might be doing very daunting little tasks that they don't really enjoy, rewarding yourself after might help you. Next thing is putting background music on. Sometimes when we're in the daunt of a silent room with just our laptop or PC or a book, things can get really distracting and our minds start wandering, you know, oh, has that post done this? Has that post done that? In a hard routine, putting music on in the background so you can't get distracted really helps. With me personally, when I'm doing work, there's always some form of music background going on. Not right now, obviously, because I'm filming, but when I'm doing little petty tasks like planning videos out or doing anything that where my head could get distracted, I put some background music on just to make sure that my brain is focused. I'm one of these people who can't work without noise. Most importantly, however, remind yourself of your goal. What is the aim of your hard routine? Because hard routines really shouldn't last no longer than a month. Even after a month, you're starting to push it. You know, after a couple of weeks, you should start to relax them. You know, you shouldn't be as harsh on yourself. But for them first 2 weeks, it's like hard on, this is what I'm doing. And for that, make sure you keep in mind what your goal was. There's no point doing a hard routine for no reason. Trust me, you won't stick to it. Now, my best advice for all of this is only do a hard routine when you really want to change something about your life that you're genuinely passionate about. So, for example, me, I really wanted to start working out, going for a run, doing whatever to try and make my physical body look better. It took a lot of motivation, but I was like, I'm not going to do it or unless I stick to a hard routine. And that's what I'm doing. And it's even teaching me some different scheduling methods. So it's helped me in many ways. Anyway, guys, yeah, please go and use these tactics. Go and use these tips. If you want to adjust a habit in your life, if you want to make something new in your life, it's a great way of kicking that in, because habits take a long time to build. And with a hard routine, you're putting yourself into it. Anyway guys, hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure you guys are smashing that like button, making sure you're hitting that subscribe button to come and join the community for regular mental health advice. But apart from that, I hope you're having a good day and I will catch all you dudes next time.